As Irene said, I am the college recruiter and focus specifically on our co-op and internship programs. So, students looking for some experience while in school or maybe during the summertime, and then eventually getting you ready for that next full-time step. So excited to talk to you about some of those opportunities. Again, please feel free to jump in at any time with questions or comments, anything like that. So I'll kind of jump on in. So as Irene said, I am with Shaw Industries. So for those of you that don't know Shaw, we are a worldwide floor covering provider. So we're headquartered in Dalton, Georgia. It's about 40 minutes from UTC's campus, I believe, something like that. And we are a worldwide leading floor covering provider. So we manufacture anything from carpet, tiles, stone, laminate, sports turf, pretty much anything you can walk on. We do make it. Our organization is about close to 24,000 associates, so fairly large, and we're scattered all across the United States, globally as well, but mainly focused here in the Northwest Georgia area. So we have facilities, I'm sure you've passed them on the interstate and things like that. So so I'll kind of start my little presentation for you guys, and let's see. So here in it might be your right-hand side, it's on my right-hand side, is our CEO, Vance Bell. So he's been with the company since the early 2000s. Great leader, but really, our focus as an organization is, as you see, is to create a better future for our customers, our people, our company, and our communities. So we're a very human-centric organization, very people-focused. We care a lot for our associates, for their families. We give a lot to our community, and I'll kind of touch on that in a minute. And our values are honesty, integrity, and passion. And I think if you were to join our organization or, get an opportunity, you would definitely see that within the company. And again, feel free to jump in, questions, anything like that. So like I said, we're made up of about 24,000 associates. We have about 116 manufacturing and distribution facilities in 30 states across the United States. We make an average of about 4,500 customer deliveries each day. So our supply chain is booming. We have 2 major ports in Savannah, which is really, really taking off, and then also one in Los Angeles. So we, bring a lot of product over from overseas and things like that. So supply chain is a really big area right now. We've also recycled close to about 1 billion pounds of carpet. So we do a lot of, cradle to cradle certified products, which means that we make the product with the intent that they will be recycled back through and used again, which is pretty awesome. So a neat little fact is we actually melt Sprite bottles, Old Sprite bottles down into that plastic, and then it is turned into backing on our carpet tile. So that's a cool little fact about, one of the ways we recycle. And then the sale of our products amounts to about 5 billion per year. So we have a huge sales force all across the United States and also globally as well. And this leads me to our next slide. In our global kind of expansion, so we have manufacturing facilities in China. This allows us to meet our delivery times on the other side of the globe, things like that. And we also have showrooms, like I said, across the world. So India, Australia, Brazil, Singapore, and so on. And here is a little bit about some of the brands. You may recognize some of these if you're familiar with the flooring industry. So we kind of divide it up into different sections. So we do have our residential side of the business. So think about, maybe somewhere that your parents would go and buy flooring for their home. Then we have commercial. So think about, dorms, hotels, hospitals, things like that. And then we have our specialty market group. So that's going to be our Shaw Turf and things like that. So you might know a little bit about turf, but we've kind of expanded in that area and have different turf installed into some of the NFL fields. So that's pretty cool. But this is just a little bit about some of our brands. And I just briefly wanted to touch on that so that you kind of saw.
Bradley, what is the services? I've never heard of that before.
The service, where is this?
Spectra?
Oh, yes. So Spectra is actually they're kind of a third party, but they actually install Shaw flooring. So they'll go to your house and install it. So for example, carpet tile, if y'all are familiar with carpet tile, basically it's carpet, but it's in tiles and they can be in different shapes, rectangle, hexagon, but you only pull one of the tiles out instead of having to rip up the whole piece of carpet. So if one piece gets messed up, they just pull it up and Spectra will come in and kind of replace it, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
All right, so this is probably one of my favorite pieces to touch on. And so Shaw does a lot to give back. And as I said, we care a lot for our people and our communities. And so each year we donate an average of $4 million to many charitable causes. Two that we really focus on are United Way and St. Jude's Research Hospital. And so last year, or I guess it was 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to participate in the St. Jude race. And so Shaw actually, is a sponsor. And so we have a big team that goes up to Memphis every year. And we had a big group that actually ran. It's a really cool experience. You actually get to run through the hospital area outside, and the kids and their families are out there cheering you on, and it's really a special time and just a very cool experience, very humbling. So that's a really cool opportunity, that we offer all Shaw associates to participate in. And then United Way, for those of you that don't know, basically they're the big umbrella to different nonprofits in our community, but also in other communities. So there are United Ways everywhere. But ours specifically focus on, certain groups where they're able to raise money, and Shaw helps in that. And we do kind of a campaign each year, and two Shaw associates will lead that, and we're able to raise money and give money to these nonprofits such as the Salvation Army and Big Brothers Big Sisters, things like that. So really cool opportunities to get involved for sure. Any questions so far? Okay. So another piece I wanted to touch on is just the emphasis that Shaw does put on training opportunities. A lot of our associates decide to maybe go back to school or maybe pursue their master's, and Shaw has programs that help support that. Things like that. We've been on the list for top 125 training for the last probably 17 years. So really a lot of emphasis in growing and developing our people. And so just wanted to briefly touch on that piece.
Excuse me, I have a question really quick.
Sure.
For your master's support, do you have specific master's degrees that you support your students going back for? I know that there are certain companies that will support someone going back for like a master's in business, but they won't support somebody going back for a master's in arts.
Right, that's a great question. So at Shaw, as long as you can, your degree would go towards something that you would be doing at Shaw. We have folks that are in nursing, we have folks that are in design, marketing, sales. So if it's something that you could, use at Shaw, I think that we're definitely in support of that.
And after you get your master's degree, is there a certain period of time that you are expected to work at Shaw before you can take your master's degree and take it somewhere else?
That's a good question. I am not sure on that, but I can definitely get an answer for you. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a period of time that you would have to work at Shaw, but I'll
okay
on that for you.
I was just curious because I used to work at a company that would support someone going back to get a degree if they're going for a bachelor's degree, but you would have to work at that company for 2 years after you get your bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have your financial support that you got from the company was rescinded, and you'd have to pay the company back.
I see. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I will look into that, and I can get with Irene and get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And I put a couple of our different awards on here. So one of the best employers for diversity. So we're really big on diversity at Shaw and just really making people feel like they have a voice and that they have a seat at the table, and that their opinions are heard. And we really encourage people to speak up and things like that. And also one of the best places to work for recent grads. So just wanted to throw that in there. But I guess really quickly, well, I'll kind of save that for last, but I wanted to touch on the makerspace because I think this is a really cool opportunity for students. If they are, given the opportunity to join Shaw, we have a makerspace off-site that is really a place where you can be creative, experiment, really no rules. I mean, obviously safety rules, but really, kind of do as you please, working on different projects. So we have 3D printers, we have electronics, laser cutters, woodworking kind of machines, things like that. So as a student, when you come into Shaw, we have Thursday work days. And so you're able to go work on your projects there that maybe you couldn't complete in your normal environment. So you're able to go to the makerspace for the day. You're able to meet other folks. We have lunch and learns with some of our leaders to really acclimate you with the business, but also to kind of show you, as an engineer or information technology student, the opportunities that we have at this space. So it really helps folks working on projects to drive innovation into our business. A quick example. So as you all know, with this virus going on, there was a shortage of masks and things like that. So Shaw actually had the opportunity to go to the makerspace. A bunch of volunteers actually went and they made masks using our 3D printer. So there's a lot of, I don't know if there's a video. I wanted to show you a video, but I couldn't find video. But there are some articles that kind of, a lot of companies are giving back to local hospitals and things like that. So that was definitely something really cool to see how we impacted our local community by being able to use the makerspace and do 3D printing. Any questions on the makerspace?
Yeah, I have a question, Bradley.
Sure.
Is that space like in Dalton? Like which part is that? Like Northwest Georgia or?
Yes, it's in Dalton. So it's a little bit away from corporate campus, about 10 minutes. So it's kind of near downtown if you're familiar with the area, but a bit past downtown Dalton.
Okay. Cool.
Very easily accessible. It's, they're working on renovating the space and making it more of an innovation center instead of just, an engineering or computer science place. We want it for all associates, but the people that use it the most are engineering and computer science students.
So if you're let's say an intern, how often do your interns get to go actually like check out the makerspace and work there?
Yeah. So we have kind of integrated our co-op and intern programs a little bit together because we want the same experience for all students. And so we set the same schedule for interns that we do co-ops so that they get the same opportunity. Now, it really depends on which department that you're working in and if your project, one of your projects that you're given, you can work on it at the space. But we really push our supervisors to have something in mind that they can give students. Maybe it's a side project where they're able to go to the space once a week.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Another innovative product that we have is LifeGuard. This is one of our waterproof carpets, which is really, really cool. I have a video in that I wanted to show y'all, but I'm not sure if I'm able to do the video while presenting. Do you, Irene, let's see. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Can y'all see my screen still? Video unavailable. Okay. Let's see. I think this is the video. Here we go. So I always like to show that video because I think it shows how innovative and creative we can be with our flooring. And so that video, I mean, the pool is made completely of our lifeguard carpet, and you saw that it didn't leak. So when they lifted the pool up at the end, the chalk was still underneath it. So very, very cool. All right, so as I mentioned, I really wanted to touch on this towards the end, was our emphasis on diversity and inclusion, and that's really, you know, foundational to how we do our business and how we lead. And we want to make sure that everyone feels that they have a seat at the table and that their perspectives are heard, and that they're valued. They're a valued associate, you know, amongst 24,000 other associates. All right. So now to the fun stuff, the opportunities that we have at Shaw. So as I mentioned, we do have our co-op program, which we also have our intern program. So this really allows you as students to work on a variety of projects. It's not just busy work or anything like that. You're really given well thought out real world projects, solving problems. You know, a lot of that involves costs, logistics. If you're in IT, that could be debugging or troubleshooting, and really designing and implementing solutions to complex technical issues. So I think our supervisors do a really good job of giving real world work to make you feel like you're, you know, a full-time associate with us, even though you might be there for just 3 months. Some responsibilities for the co-op. You could be working on various trials, could be doing time studies, you could be leading team meetings and discussions, helping, you know, study equipment, the design of the equipment, the cost, working to improve quality and safety, performance. As an IT student, you could be coding and designing servers, troubleshooting, you could be collecting data. So there's lots of different opportunities. Every group is different, so it's hard to say, a specific project that you would be working on if you were co-oping with us. But a lot of projects, take a couple of years, and so they're passed on from student to student, which I think is pretty cool. That they'll have a folder ready for you with some of the projects that they've started but not able to finish in the time frame, so you can kind of pick up where they started and things like that. Some of the requirements for the co-op program would be to be obtaining a degree if you're an engineer in mechanical, electrical, industrial. We are still looking for chemical engineers, but a lot of those facilities are in our outlying areas, so in the South Carolina area. If you're in IT, we're looking for folks with computer science, information technology, management information systems, things like that. And also students will be required to have a GPA of 2.5 or above. Any questions over the co-op program?
I have a real quick question. With a program like this, like if we would sign up for the co-op program, would we be required to move closer to the facility if we live in the Chattanooga area?
No. So you can, if you would like to commute to your facility, that is perfectly okay. We have a lot of students that are local and they just drive, to and from their house to work every day. We do offer corporate housing, so that's another piece. Very affordable, very convenient to work. So a lot of our folks from further away states will definitely take advantage of that opportunity.
And are there traveling opportunities to go to other facilities and learn out there within the program, the program itself?
Yeah, absolutely. So we encourage job shadows throughout your semester. So we encourage you to, meet with other folks at different facilities to learn different processes or get to know different departments. So maybe if you did decide to return, you would have a group in mind that you would be interested in. So that's very encouraged. We also do some team building activities. We have a co-op outing at the end of the semester. We get out in the community and volunteer. So there's a lot of activities that do go on within our program.
I apologize, but I'm someone who usually needs to see things in black and white, and I don't know if mechatronics is something that you would be looking for as well. I don't know if that falls under the industrial engineering. And then also with the school schedule, mine's a bit intensive this semester. I didn't know how well it would be to work around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely interested in a mechatronics degree. Again, it's just going to depend on the opportunities that we have available. So, we have slimmed down our numbers with everything that's going on at this point. So right now our summer is obviously set, but if we're looking at fall, we definitely have lots of opportunities available for then. We do ask that students are focused either on school or on the co-op program. We don't want you to get overwhelmed or, anything like that. So if you are taking, say, like an online class, maybe one online class, that's totally okay. But we do suggest that you pick, one or the other to focus on for that semester.
So you mentioned internships as well, running kind of parallel with your co-op. So they are two different programs, or are they the same?
Yes, they are different. So they're similar, but they're different, just being that co-ops rotate, 3 semesters with us. So they'll spend 1 semester with us and then they'll go back to school and kind of rotate through. We do understand that a lot of students are interested more in the internship opportunities, just being that it's, in the summer and it makes more sense, things like that. So as far as internships go, we have opportunities, in marketing, sales, design, legal department, supply chain, things like that. So typically those are offered in the summer. We do have a couple of one-off situations. Maybe it's in the fall or the spring, but most of the time it is focused on the summer semester.
Okay. And forgive me if you were planning on going over the intern program as well, but do you guys hire interns like the summer following graduation, or do they have to be enrolled currently to qualify for an intern position?
It's a great question. So honestly, it's really going to depend on what the department is looking for. If it's somebody that they need a little bit more of a, experienced student, just say, for example, legal department, they're looking a lot of the time for students that are in law school and things like that. So I don't think there's any, no, we wouldn't bring you on if you've already graduated. But I think we are definitely looking at students still in school, but I wouldn't say no if somebody was already graduated.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
So one more question. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
You're fine.
So for the co-op programs, you do require the students to take a semester off of school. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We do understand, with your school schedule that you might only be available in the summer and not for 3 rotations. So we can certainly be flexible with that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
One last question, Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that you are not hiring interns for this summer or co-ops for this summer?
So all of our current groups are full, being that we will start next month. So we're scheduled to start June 22nd with, a smaller group of students that we've committed to. So our next opportunities would begin in the fall, so August.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I did want to mention, while I have you on here, we do have a recent opportunity that just presented itself 2 days ago. It is a data science internship position. They're looking for someone that is experienced in R or Python or SQL. So it's going to be more of a data analytics type of role, statistics, working on the commercial side of our business to really help with this specific project. So it's not posted yet. If you are interested, please feel free to send me an email or connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can certainly have conversations around that, okay?
Bradley, would you be so kind as to enter your email into the chat box for everyone who's here?
Absolutely. Let's see if I can find how to do that.
Just at the bottom, right next to the share screen, you're going to see chat.
Right next to the share screen. Let's see. More.
Or rather, why don't I go ahead and do that for you?
Oh, here it is. I found it.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Sure.
Inc.com. Okay, perfect. There it is.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So I touched a little bit on the co-op and internship program. As I mentioned, we do offer corporate housing, very affordable, very convenient, and just a really great opportunity to meet other students and start building your network. So from the co-op program, we do have that entry-level development program for our. So it's our OMT program, operations management trainee. So you would spend 14 weeks in a training program, learning different processes. You'd be assigned to a specific facility and project like you would normally for a co-op, but you will be working alongside, obviously, other engineers. You would be acting as a project or process engineer. And from there, you would eventually, the goal would be to end up in a full-time role in a specific facility. You are full-time in the OMT program, but you're interviewing throughout to find the right fit, to find the right facility, the right environment and culture and process that you're interested in. So this is for students that have completed their bachelor's degree and are looking for that next engineering step. And I've kind of listed the opportunities upon the program.
Thank you so much for your time with us today, Bradley. Students, you're welcome to follow up with her via email, and she is quite active on LinkedIn if you want to find her there. If any of these opportunities have been of interest to you, I encourage you to reach out, ask for some more information, ask for application links, and get the conversation started. I really appreciate your time this morning, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Irene.